Hey guys.
Alright guys, we're here today to check out the latest from 1914. They have a new album coming out on Napalm Records. This is the first single, and a cross now marks his place. Featuring Nick Holmes, not to be confused with John Holmes, also known as Johnny Wad. Do you know who Johnny Wad is?
No.
Iconic, and I mean this, iconic porn star.
Oh.
Big fan.
I thought you were going to say Sherlock Holmes.
Fuck. Like, when I think of Holmes, I don't think of Sherlock
When
Holmes.
I think of Holmes, I think of Sherlock Holmes.
For me, it's Johnny Wad. John Holmes. I mean, that guy, he was packing a steak. And
I thought
and with his stick, he marked his spot.
Yeah. Okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
All right. We've gone full circle on this one. Anyways, 1914, one of our favorite bands.
Yeah.
New album coming out. I couldn't be more excited. And I knew that this was a song that we had to check out. Music video, we just have to check out. I want to get a taste of what this new record is going to be all about. Any expectations coming in?
I'm expecting greatness. I mean, the last album was really, really good.
Fuck, that album was incredible.
I enjoyed that full album.
It's still on high rotation
It's
for
still
me.
on high rotation for me, too. So I'm just expecting, another great album that I'm going to enjoy.
You expect them to perhaps raise the bar a little
Maybe
bit?
one-up themselves, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. 1914.
Successful and our guns reached and established new position. Later in the night, the enemy shout our
That's the whole letter he was writing. Wow. 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 So that was actually, like, that's for real, eh? Shit. I thought that was like a Let me take the headphones off. I thought it was a fictitious story.
No, that was a real
Fuck,
one.
That was a real story with a real letter.
He also died very close to the end of the war.
He was 30. Fuck. I mean, he was young. There's younger people that died in the war.
Yeah, way younger.
Yeah, way younger.
People who lied about their age just to get there.
Yeah, that's true too. But fuck, the whole time I'm thinking this is just like a fictitious letter that, like like the letter you send home to the parents, to the family of the soldier that died. That's what I'm thinking. And then at the end they hit us up with this is real. Like this guy.
This was a real letter.
This was a real letter. This is a real soldier that died. Wow.
I kind of thought he would be younger though.
Maybe, yeah, I had that too. But now that I'm thinking about it, these guys, they do their research, okay? They're not the kind of band that I should have known better. They're not
I should have
really
known better too.
Yeah, they're not really the band to create like a fictitious story and to go with it. They do their research and their music is based on true events and true research that they've put in. So I should have known better. But having said that, like you're going through the song and you're like, like those letters were written like all the time, like, sent home to the parents of the family of the soldier that died. So it makes sense that you would pick that as a topic for one song and go with it. Not in a million years that am I thinking that this actually has a connection to an actual soldier. Magnificent. What a way to finish off the video. Now it makes the song even cooler.
But also
even more impactful.
That's also I think that answers my thing, because I kind of thought there was so many places where I thought it would make sense to put the line of the title of the song. I thought a lot of obviously bands, they incorporate the name of the song into the song, and that's how.
Sometimes in the chorus.
Sometimes in the chorus. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's normally how it works. So that's what I thought. I thought there would be a moment where they say it, because that line is badass.
The line is badass, yeah.
So I thought they would kind of incorporate, and there were so many places they could have, but now I know why
they can't go against.
But now I know why they didn't. So now I can't ask that question. Because now I know exactly why they didn't do it.
Yeah, because it was not there.
Because it wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of had, the title of the song has a different meaning because they couldn't rescue his body from where he died. So where he died is like where the cross marks his place, right? So it kind of, I think the title kind of comes from that direction more so than anything else. And like we were just saying here, if you're using something that's real, that existed, that's concrete, you can't just go now and start like adding things into it just to make things make sense. I'm actually glad that they went with a song title that's not necessarily represented in the lyrics, directly in the lyrics, but is represented in the theme
of the whole song,
of the story
Very
that
smart.
it's telling. Really well played. By the way, when they sing about the shells hitting, holy fuck, musically, I feel like the shells are hitting me.
Yeah.
It was just like so heavy, so powerful. I love that musical connection with what you're saying and what you're singing about from a war's perspective. It feels like we're being bombarded, like the shells are hitting our position.
But I think one of my favorite things about this whole experience that I've experienced is the video, because the song is an amazing background to what I'm watching. I'm watching this war, which I love history. I love history. Some of the folks at home know I love history. And just watching like the tanks and everything, it's just very fascinating to me. So hearing like especially the parts where like the blast beats and everything comes in, and I'm listening to that as like there's tanks and people running away, it really brings the whole thing.
And them in the mud.
In the mud, yeah. It really brings the whole thing together.
I also like the guy writing the letter. I mean, there's a lot of visual aids that help you. This is a song and video that has a little bit of both worlds. It has some of the visual aids that help you visualize what he's writing about. Like they're giving you a visual connotation to what the lyrics in the song is putting forward, and at the same time, then you have the musical side, like when the shells are hitting me, that also creates a visual, but from a sonic perspective of what was happening during the battle. Like because sonically, the song got so heavy that it felt like the sky was falling apart, not in a Chicken Little kind of way, but like shells just like hitting all the way.
You're watching them like load the shells.
Yeah, and you're watching them load the. So there's.
I think one of the part I found the whole video very, very fascinating. But one of the parts that I did also find very interesting is there was a part around the start of the song where they were showing faces of different guys, and they would show the face of him like smiling and stuff, and then it was the person dead, the same person who was dead. And I found that like, wow, you found the picture, like both pictures of that same person, just obviously in a different way. I found this whole video very, very fascinating, and then the song was just amazing to listen to and watch everything.
But when it got to the end, and I feel like that is the cherry on top.
That is the cherry on top.
Because to me, I'm kind of like I'm thinking all the way through that they took a topic that this happened, like we talked about this already. These letters to the families of the soldiers, it's common
and
practice,
if it didn't show
right?
up right away, I feel like we would have skipped it. We would have stopped it here and then started talking about.
I'm not
song.
stopping anymore now. Like after what happened with the Lord of the Lost video, I'm just going to let everything
play through.
I'm just going to let everything play through. So I felt like that ending, it just made things even better. It made everything that you just listened to, everything that you just witnessed, real. Because now you're putting a name to a person. It's not just a person. It's not just a story. You know what I mean? Like it's real. It becomes reality.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you hear numbers and it's like, 100 people died on a mudslide, or 50 people died in an avalanche. Well, whatever the case is, like 4 million people died of COVID. Whatever the numbers are, we've become so desensitized to those numbers that you hear them and they don't really. They don't really hit home. It's like, it's a number because it's a number, right? But when you put either a face or a name or a story to that number, it changes everything. It becomes real. It could be your neighbor next door. It gives you that sense of reality that really changes your perception and your view of something that was abstract before, and it's no longer abstract. Now it's real. Like you can touch it. You can almost touch it. One more thing we have to talk about before we go on this video is the dual vocals.
Oh, the cleaner vocals. I found them.
Even outside of the clean vocals, the harsh, the two vocal approaches with the harsh vocals before, and then the really gritty, like in the mud vocals after. Having two different vocalists on the track really gives this really incredible dynamic. It's the whole song. It feels like a duet. The whole song feels like a duet.
But he only comes in two places.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, the cleaner vocals.
Oh, the cleaner vocals only come in two different places.
The cleaner vocals only come in two places.
But I thought that was so interesting.
But I found it really cool because it was something different.
I wasn't expecting it at all.
But I was really hoping when he did that first line, I'm like, that sounds good, but I think I'm in love with the harsh vocals from this band in general because how deep and how gritty they are because they match the whole theme of their music, and I'm like, this is good. But I think I know how they can make this better. And then
were you expecting clean vocals?
I wasn't expecting, but when I heard the clean vocals, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this is good.
So haunting though.
Yeah, because the way his voice comes across, it sounds very haunting, but like
almost like a spirit talking.
Yeah, because it has like an echo to it.
Yeah, it was just so it was so fascinating to me because it was not just clean vocals.
No, because they had like an echo to it.
Yeah, it had a little effect to it.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is cool, but I think they can make it better. And then they did the same line but with the harsher vocals, and instead of just saying it all at once, he kind of
broke
paused.
it. Yeah, paused
yeah,
it.
And I also made it even better.
And I also like the fact that you got the clean vocals twice. We've talked about this many times.
Don't bring it in just for once. You got to bring it in at least 2 is the magic number.
To me, 2 is the magic number. If you have a change, a really abrupt change to the song vocally, in terms of everything you've been giving us up until a certain point, and you do it just once, unless it's once and it's super extended, you know what I mean? Like if it's like a whole verse then you don't have to go back into that well because you kind of extended your stay for a very long period of time. But if it's just kind of like you coming in like a burst and you go away, you have to come back again to make it feel like it meant something, to make it feel like that there's a little bit of a boomerang effect to it. I loved it. Not just because it was clean, but because it almost felt like a voice out of this earth. Like it felt ghostly. It had this haunting atmosphere, texture to it that I thought was just phenomenal. It was almost like death speaking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it was really well done. Really well done. Vocally, this track is just as good as it is musically, because that guitar too, so gritty. Like it's almost like you're dragging the amplifier through the mud, and you're picking up some feedback along the way, and you're picking up some distortion along the way. The guitar sound from the get-go, from the beginning, is so gritty. So raw and so gritty. I absolutely love this song. These guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, we've said this before. These guys are, like, if Sabaton... Like, Sabaton does...
I can't believe you're bringing Sabaton into this.
No, we said this before. Sabaton, they make it all, like... Bubblegum of all of history and stuff, but these guys are the nitty... Like, they show you what actually happened. Like, they sing about the horrors of war. Sabaton is more of like
Sabaton is Rambo.
Yeah.
And these guys are like History Channel documentary. Like, what the fuck? That's pretty much. I mean, I don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but that's the reality. That's the reality of the facts. One is Rambo, and the other one is the Discovery Channel or History Channel documentary.
And I just prefer.
I to be honest with you, I don't mind the Rambo.
I don't mind the Rambo
because sometimes I like to be entertained.
I started out with the Rambo, but
yeah, I like to be entertained. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to sit back and just see some meaningless violence. You know what I mean? But I still prefer the documentary.
Yeah.
I still prefer the documentary. All right, guys, this is it for today. Come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.